Good afternoon, everybody. This is Christopher Bennett with the National Weather Service here in Slidell, Louisiana. And this is our weekly weather briefing for Sunday, March 21st through March 28th. And really going to focus on the potential for heavy rain and maybe even some severe weather later this week. So real quickly, here's your situation overview. We got one more day of quiet weather, and then things begin to get busy. It looks like Tuesday through Thursday night, we'll see multiple rounds of thunderstorms as a cold front starts to slide down into the area, kind of that Tuesday night time frame, and then stalls near the coast. And then that's going to be the catalyst for what could, again, be multiple rounds of moderate to heavy rain, and we could have some flash flooding concerns along with river flooding eventually. So don't be surprised if we start issuing flash flood watches, possibly tonight, maybe more so tomorrow or tomorrow night, but flash flood watches may be needed the next day or so. And then obviously we can't ignore the potential for severe weather as well. Marginally, there's a small chance of maybe seeing severe weather Tuesday and Wednesday. However, the greatest risk for severe weather looks to be maybe overnight Wednesday, but more so Thursday as we finally get a really good push with that front finally. And then possibly one more shot of rain this weekend. We'll have to keep a close eye on that. Could exacerbate any river flooding issues that we may have from the rainfall this week. And then talking about rivers, the rivers right now are in pretty good state. We do have one point in Mississippi, the Red River Landing point, which is in flood, and it's probably going to remain in flood. It looks like it's going to be flat for at least the next 2 weeks right now. And then we do have the 2 points across the Pearl River. The Bogalusa point is in flood right now. However, it is expected to fall down below flood stage in the next few days. That does not, though, include the forecast rainfall that we're expecting this week. And with the Pearl River already elevated, we're going to have to keep a close eye to see how much rainfall we get over our area, but especially kind of in that southern Mississippi, central Mississippi area that's in the lower Pearl, just below the Ross Barnett. And then see how much rain we see fall in the upper Pearl that will drain into the Ross Barnett. So we'll have to keep a close eye on the rivers over the next week or two. Real quick, I'm going to show the 7-day threat outlook right now, just to kind of give you an idea that things look like they could be a little busy. As you see, the number one thing is flooding. It looks like the flooding risk is going to be a bigger issue Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and that is mainly flash flooding we're talking about. A chance of flash flooding on Tuesday. However, these colors don't equate to right now the outlooks from the Weather Prediction Center or Storms Prediction Center. It's just kind of where we feel right now the risk level is for our area. But as you look at Wednesday and Thursday, that orange color right now for flash flooding, that does look like the potential for when we have the heaviest rainfall, especially that Wednesday night time frame looks to be real concerning, especially if we do have a boundary stalled across the area. Looking at a severe weather potential, right now, again, doesn't equate to the Storm Prediction Center's outlooks currently. However, we do believe there's a small chance we could see a severe storm or two Tuesday, maybe more strong storms, possibly into Wednesday. But as you go into Wednesday night, especially Thursday, that looks like there is a potential for some severe storms. That's why we have it colored yellow right now. However, don't be surprised when the Storm Prediction Center updates their day 4 to 8 outlook if that day 4, which would cover Thursday, does have a 15% area somewhere along the lower Mississippi Valley area, which could include portions of our outlook region. And then the third one is river flooding right now. It's all green. It's marginal, mainly because all of our rivers are doing pretty good right now. They're all really low, so we can handle a good bit of rain. There is some storage. The one concern right now is the Pearl River, but the Pearl River is a not as flashy river. It's a more longer stream river, not like the Mississippi River, but it is a more general river that doesn't flood real quickly. It can handle some rain. The big concern, though, is how much rain we get over our area and just to the north. So looking at our forecast for the week, as you can see, we do have a cold front that slides towards the region Tuesday. And then once it gets into the area Tuesday, we're going to see a lot of rain develop over the region. It will stall across the area, and then that will provide the catalyst for additional showers and thunderstorms. That warm front then moves back to the north around the Wednesday night time frame, and then what you'll see is a potential for really heavy rain as that front just kind of meanders north or slowly drifts north. It should move north of the area finally by Thursday, but then the cold front pushes back through later Thursday, and there's some other upper level features and a really good disturbance that could provide the best chance for severe weather this week. So The rainfall potential is the main concern right now, mainly Tuesday through Thursday night. However, let's not ignore the potential for severe weather, though, also on Thursday. So we'll just keep a close eye on that as well. So look at the heavy rain potential right now. These graphics that I'm showing right now are again from the SIPs out of St. Louis University. That first image you saw earlier was the probability of seeing, heavy rain Tuesday, kind of in the Tuesday night time frame. The probability of getting greater than 2 inches in that area, or our area, on Tuesday night is over 50% across most of the region. So that's a pretty high probability for seeing greater than 2 inches. However, that potential for heavy rain goes up as we move into Wednesday and Thursday. And the analogs right now highlight an average of around 2 to 4 inches across our entire area Wednesday through Thursday night. And then there is even a 40 to 60% probability of seeing greater than 4 inches near that Louisiana, Southwest Mississippi border. And there's even some probabilities around 25 to 35% of seeing greater than 5 inches. And 25 to 35% doesn't seem like a lot, but when we're talking about 4 or 5 days out, 35% probability of greater than 5 inches is definitely something to watch right now. So we'll have to keep a close eye on how much rainfall we do get over the next 7 days, but especially that Tuesday through Thursday night time frame. As you can see, mentioning all the issues with the rainfall, this is our current storm total rainfall forecast. This is valid, actually it's valid for the next 7 days. However, the bulk of the rainfall really now in this is Monday through Friday evening. Look for widespread 4 to 7 inches with locally higher amounts. The rain may begin as early as overnight Monday, but probably more so on Tuesday. And then Tuesday night as the front slowly drifts into the area. Rain will not completely be out of the area until probably later this weekend. However, we should get a break, looks like Friday, maybe into Saturday. The bulk of the rain, though, is forecast for Tuesday through Thursday night. And again, multiple rounds of rain, but we are not expecting continuous rain. There will be breaks. It's not going to rain nonstop from Tuesday through Thursday night. There will be breaks with each little impulse that comes across the area, with the longest period of rain looking like it's going to be kind of that Wednesday and Wednesday night time frame. Because of the rainfall that we're expecting right now, this is the excessive rainfall outlook from the Weather Prediction Center. They have pretty much highlighted most of our area in a marginal risk for excessive rainfall. Wouldn't be surprised if this gets upgraded a little bit or shifted, maybe even a little bit further west when they do the new outlooks later tonight. Then we'll also get an outlook for Wednesday. There's a very good chance we'll be outlooked on that Wednesday outlook. And then they won't do an outlook for Thursday, though, until the Tuesday time frame. And just kind of pay attention to these outlooks right now. It is only marginal, but don't be surprised if we see a slight, maybe even a moderate risk of excessive rainfall at some point. When you start getting those moderate risk for excessive rainfall, that is a pretty significant issue. So we're going to have to keep a really close eye on the rainfall over the next couple days. River forecast, as I mentioned earlier, right now rivers look good. We only have a few points that are kind of in concern. We do have the river landing point, which is currently in flood and likely going to remain there for the next couple of weeks, probably even longer than that, depending on how much rainfall falls in the northern areas of the Mississippi River, along with the Ohio and Tennessee rivers as well. The Baton Rouge point right now, it's near flood, but right now it's not forecasted to go above flood stage, but it's pretty close. We'll keep an eye on that as well. But again, those are mainly just a shipping concern. It's not as much a concern for the public right now, because the Mississippi River is pretty well channeled and there's a lot of levees that cover that. It's all of our other rivers that is a bigger issue, and right now the only other problem we have is at the Biloxi gauge, which is currently in flood, and forecasts remain in flood for the next few days and then drop. However, again, it is not including any rainfall pretty much after Monday timeframe. So when we start getting the new forecast for the rivers Monday morning and Tuesday morning, that's going to start taking into account the rainfall we can see Tuesday and the rainfall we'll see Wednesday. So don't be surprised when you start seeing the rivers in our local area, like right here, start to change colors. As you can see right now, the only color change of concern is the Bogalusa one on the Pearl River. It's pretty much green everywhere else, but those colors could change as the heavy rainfall falls over the area and we start forecasting, near or minor, maybe even a few points around moderate flood stage. So the Weather Prediction Center and Storm Prediction Center, the outlook explanation. The Weather Prediction Center already showed you earlier. We do have that marginal risk right now for Tuesday. This is the explanation of it right now. You can see with marginal risk, you maybe see some isolated flash flooding Again, I think the greater concern is going to be Wednesday through Thursday. And don't be surprised if when later outlooks come out, if we do have a slight risk over the area, maybe even a moderate risk right now. Not too concerned right now. Don't think we're quite in that area of a high risk. However, I can't completely rule it out given the amount of moisture it looks like it's going to be over the area. It looks like we're going to have a very moist atmosphere in place. A lot of other features that are coming together, along with a lot of instability, could make for a few pretty efficient thunderstorms. But going back to the slight and moderate risk, that's when you start getting a few more areas like scattered flash flooding possible in the slight, and then you have numerous flash flooding areas in that moderate risk. And that's just something to keep an eye on. As we look at the Storm Prediction Center earlier, right now we're not outlooked in anything. However, that Thursday timeframe, which will become the day 4 overnight, a lot of models have been trending a little bit more concerning for severe potential, especially maybe just off to our north. Don't be surprised if they come out with what we consider a 15%, which would equal about a slight risk in our area for the day 4. So we do have to keep an eye on that, and that's our main concern for severe weather is on that Thursday timeframe. However, can't rule out one or two strong to maybe severe storms Tuesday and Wednesday. Looking at the severe potential again for Thursday, the image right now that you see again is from SIPS out of St. Louis. This is basically just showing the probability of getting at least one report of severe weather. Severe weather is damaging winds, large hail, or a few tornadoes. And as you can see right now, pretty much the entire area has at least a 20% probability of seeing one severe report. However, if you look at the colors, you look at the scale right there, and you look at pretty much most of southeast Louisiana into coastal Mississippi, and especially along the Mississippi River and Louisiana and Mississippi there is at least around a 60 to 70% probability of seeing at least one report of severe weather. That's a pretty high probability for that many days out. So again, we have to keep a close eye on it. All modes right now look possible. It can't really rule out one thing or the other. So damaging winds, large hail, maybe even a few tornadoes are possible, especially any storms that are near that. If that warm front's a little slower Wednesday night and Thursday morning, we get any storms that kind of develop near that front that become severe, they have a better chance of developing a tornado as they kind of cross that boundary, which provides just a little bit more spin to it. So again, just keep an eye on the severe potential for Thursday as well. Mentioning earlier with our potential for severe weather, again, damaging winds, tornadoes, and then hail. Hail does look like it's going to be the lowest of the three. However, the temperatures in the mid-levels of the atmosphere aren't going to be too terrible, so hail may be a little better chance than what we're showing right now. But the greatest concern, obviously, is usually damaging winds. Initially, shear looks pretty good, so tornadoes could be possible, and then that threat may kind of dwindle down later in the day Thursday. So real quick, some safety tips right now. This is your flash flood safety. 1, get to higher ground. Please do not drive into water, and obviously always stay informed with what's going on. And then just make sure you have multiple ways, which we'll talk about later, of getting these warnings. Always turn around, don't drown. Do not drive in the heavy water. If one of the local law enforcement or EMs put out the barriers to say stay away from these roads, do not drive by them. Looking again at some of our other concerns right now as the severe weather threat, you have the tornado, strong wind, large hail, and lightning. These are all threats that we have to be worried about with severe weather. That last severe weather episode we had a lot of lightning with it. So as pretty as that is, lightning is very dangerous. Hail wasn't as big a concern. However, the strong wind and tornadoes were a big concern with that. And these are the severe weather threats we're going to have to worry about again with our system possibly on Thursday. And then really quickly, mentioned last severe weather event. Do you know the difference between the watches and the warnings? And what we're showing right there is we got the tornado watches, tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm watch, severe thunderstorm warning, and along with the flood watch and flood warning. Know the difference. Again, remember the watches are always be prepared. Conditions are favorable for getting whatever the kind of weather event we're expecting. It doesn't mean it's necessarily occurring now. However, though, if a warning goes out, severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warning, or flash flood warning, that means either we are really confident based on radar or it is already occurring, so take action. And to get those warnings, you want to make sure you have multiple ways to get them. Have, there's 5, 6 different ways. Obviously, local TV and radio are generally the best. That's how most people get their information. However, if you are asleep, you do want to know weather radio. That know weather radio acts just like a fire alarm. It'll wake you up in the middle of the night. The internet's another great place, but you have to be on the internet and have to be looking at a website to get the warnings. Your phone, probably the second best option after local TV and radio, especially if you're awake. You'll get alerts, especially the WIA, Wireless Emergency Alert System, or if you have any weather apps. And then something that doesn't get talked about a lot, but however, your family, friends, coworkers, neighbors, obviously, if you get a warning, you want to make sure your neighbor knows that, hey, look, we got a tornado warning, take cover, there's flash flood warning, stay inside, don't drive around. Just pass on the information to your neighbors. So real quickly, summary of impacts again. Quiet day tomorrow for one more day, and then it looks like things are going to get busy. Multiple rounds of weather, showers, thunderstorms, looks like Tuesday through Thursday night. Greatest concern right now is heavy rainfall, with the greatest potential for flash flooding probably being that Wednesday through Thursday night time frame. Don't be surprised if flash flood watches begin to get issued. I'd probably sometime tomorrow, maybe even tomorrow night. And then there is a potential for severe weather on Thursday, with the greatest threat being overnight Wednesday, but more so Thursday when that cold front finally pushes through. Looks like possibly one more shot of rain this weekend. So we got any river issues, that's going to be a concern. And then right now, the good thing for us is that all the rivers are in a pretty good state, with most river points pretty low right now, with the exception of the Mississippi River, which is elevated. But again, it's pretty well maintained. It's mainly a shipping issue and a commerce issue. However, the Pearl River, though, is elevated, and the current forecast right now does not include any rainfall for Tuesday through Thursday. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that over the next few days. So thanks again for watching this. Everyone, try to stay dry. And if you like this video, please give us a like, give us a thumbs up, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and let anybody know if they think they would find this video interesting. Have a great day.